Have you ever had a game of Apex Legends where you just get the feeling that there's an aimbot about? And what if I was to tell you that once you discover this truth, that the aimbot finds your response deplorable and reports you? Well, welcome to my life, which is apparently a magnet for toxic players and cheaters. My name's Tagg, and I am the greatest gutter tier gamer on the face of this earth. Season 5 is in full swing. The soft reset pushed me back from Plat 4 to Silver 2, and I decided just to start a little bit of climbing again. As many of you know, I play Apex for fun, so I'm not all that interested in the ranked experience, but I occasionally get determined and play it until it becomes that intolerable, ludicrous, non-combat committal ninth party sweaty campfest. Now, to conduct an aimbot investigation, you have to remain objective and account for a few things. That perhaps someone has a barrel stabilizer on their R301 or R99, they could be using a controller, or you may very well just be horrible at Apex. And on this particular game, I have to say, I really wasn't performing very well at all. It was 6 o'clock in the morning, I was tired, and I'm apparently addicted to this game, but I decided to, I only really had one game left in me, and this was gonna be it. I probably should have stayed away from ranked for it, but there we are. Good thing I keep finding mastiffs at the start these days. However, the lifeline could not have been wandering around in this area on her own. With the proverbial bullet fart finishing off Octane, this area belonged to us, and I was only a few points away from ending this game in positive RP to charge towards the next tier of gold rank. Getting back to Plat doesn't usually take too long once I set my mind to it, but this season I have been getting downed more times than usual, and I end more games than not, deader than a toad with a brick up its arse. At this point I'm starting to think that Forge has won more games than I have this season, but there wasn't time to feel useless. No, that would come later. Gibby spotted some enemies on the supply ship, and we headed up to investigate. Missing all of those shots felt like I was just straight up throwing now. I needed to wake up before my team started shouting at me, but we soon realised that we were getting pinned down and the supply ship, well, probably was no longer a good idea. Every time I tried to see what was going on, the damage came in, fast and heavy. These shots were too painful, but occasionally I had an answer of my own. With the ring closing, Gibraltar needed my help, and I was gonna give it to him. I'm coming, brother. All of us outside the ring, Gibby down, Revenant on death's door. I thought about just giving up right there. But then I knew deep inside that just isn't in my nature. This underdog situation lit a fire in the belly to survive. As we ran through the caves, we discovered that we were now alone with one other squad left. My teammate remarked on our luck. Well, that's the thing when you start mentioning it. You never know what's going to happen to it next. The sniping seemed relatively even. They had a gold armor and a red evo and all the rest of it, but my sniper ammo was running low. This really was a problem as the last team didn't seem to have any desire to push in. But I can tell you, whenever I smell some kind of hesitancy, I generally assume that my opponents are bad players. So with a plan set, we moved in. Not only could I not get close, but I hardly saw them before I was already dead. Downed by an alternator. That must have been some really good focus fire. But then, nothing. No push. How odd for such a coordination of bullets. 3v2, they could run all over us right there and then and finish the game. But they didn't.
Hey, looking for sniper ammo? I need shield.
Scratching my head, we went back to the rocks and my suspicions of the enemy Loba using a bot started to grow.
Sending out my decoy. You got bamboozled.
Using a med kit.
Decoy escape deployed. Getting shot at.
Taking fire, brother.
You got bamboozled.
I decided to flank her around the back and overwhelm her with the Mastiff.
You got bamboozled. Watching
Apparently, Sector 71101 is pretty good with the alternator. Like, really good. Yeah, the game ended with me not being able to work out in my head if this was 100% a cheater or not. My teammate also suspected it, but for some reason, I just had this feeling that if I queued up again immediately at this time in the morning, they'd be in the same lobby, and probably the champion squad as well. So I would definitely be looking for them and get that sweet, sweet revenge. Adrenaline coursed through my veins at the thought of this, and I queued up. But then something happened that I did not expect. Yeah, Lobot on my team. Now, of course, everyone deserves the benefit of the doubt. Even though two of us were thinking this guy was cheating, a report might even have been an overreaction on my part. So I just started off with this playing normally and decided to observe our suspected Lobot just to see what would happen. And with a Mastiff and a Prowler with the select fire, I was ready to leap into combat. Still playing like a donkey, down I went. Sector 71101 seemed to be waiting for me though to provide a res, but it turned out this would be what we needed to find out exactly what had been going on. Now I understand why Lobot didn't push into combat much, because with aim like that, you don't need to. Extra mouse movements don't seem to affect the homing missile bullets of whatever program this guy's using. And you might be thinking, hey, Tagg, this is not evidence of a bot at all. You're the bot that just can't aim. And yeah, you'd probably be right on one of those fronts. That's a fair assumption. Maybe this guy just somehow lasered everyone at that distance, even though he's got the movement of a frail giraffe but the aim of a light machine gun wizard. Well, in that case, Your Honor, allow me to present you with Exhibit B. More like exhibit bullshit aim. What is that horrible mouse flick? Is he trying to get his accuracy under 100% to stop those investigative reports slam dunking his account? Either way, we were about to be resurrected and another squad came in to fight us.
Shooting. Reloading. Dropped another one. Reloading. Whole squad down.
Once the second squad had run at us, it occurred to me I shouldn't even be fighting at all. And how does someone get to level 136 and not get caught anyway? I thought about leaving the game at this point because this was just so unfair. But instead I decided... perhaps I should just announce our position to everyone else on the map. Perhaps I could at least cost this bot a victory. I mean, maybe we were going to win this game anyway, but I can tell you this, Sector 77, you'll be doing it without my help. Lobot was getting tired of me and tried to punch me off the edge. I was baiting with a counter, but I can't even get that right. I'm shite. When we get down to the last two squads, my plan was to show them where we were or to let them kill me off and have whatever loot would possibly help them. Failing that, I was just going to leave the game. Turned out it was just one guy though. Another victory for Lobot. However, he was unsatisfied with my in-game antics and... yeah. Isn't that cute? The aimbot wants to report the guy trying to stop the aimbot from winning. Well, they might have won this round, but hey, we all know who you are now, pal. And Respawn, if you're watching, feel free, please, reset me back to whatever rank you deem appropriate, because I admit it, I tried to throw the game to stop Sector 711 Gazillion from having his way, and in doing so, I gained some unfair rank points that well stack above the ones that I lost when I faced him as an enemy. And if you're watching Sector 7 blah, 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 it sucks, dude. Aimbotting sucks. I hate it. I hate losing to bots. I can't even win against normal people. Please stop aimbotting. I'm shite.